Hey there, welcome to day 24 of Step by Step September. My name is Mary. Today's video is going to be mobility and stretching focused. We do have a few pieces of optional equipment. I've got a strap here. If you don't have a strap, you can use a broom handle or a blanket, a large towel, like a bath towel rolled up. But not necessary. I can show you how to move through a couple of those movements that this would be used for without any equipment. Also have a yoga block and a step stool. These, again, everything is optional. If you've got the bottom step of a staircase, that can be really helpful. Otherwise, I'll show different ways to do these without the equipment as well. They just can be very helpful. As we've done with our other stretching videos, what we'll do is we'll just move through each pose as we go through them. I hope that you have a really nice mobility session today. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, we're going to start. I've got this strap here. Again, if you don't have a strap, you can get a long towel to roll that up, like a bath towel or even a blanket, and roll that up. And what we want to do is you want to bring it to where your hip flexor, kind of your hip hinges, and have that is like your arms are kind of straight, not totally locked out. There's a soft bend in your elbows, but that's how we can tell the distance that we want our hands to be apart to start. We may adjust that outward or inward depending on how our shoulders are feeling through this movement. And this is called a pass over. And so what we're doing, I'll turn to the side, whoopsie, is we're coming up overhead, passing over down behind, just like that. But if you're feeling that, if you're like, oh, I can do that really smoothly, no problem. I feel like I need a little bit more tension. Just bring your hands in a little bit closer together and we come overhead. That is a good enough distance for me. We want to be able to smoothly do it, but feel a little bit of stretch here in our chest. If we don't want to use the strap, that's okay. That's not a problem. If we don't have any sort of that equipment, not a problem at all. We're going to come up overhead and roll back and come forward just like this. And the strap might even be a lot. So if you're really tight in your shoulders or you have really limited shoulder mobility, even a shoulder injury, not using the strap might be best for you. Things. Let's go ahead. We're going to do 5 repetitions. So we'll come 5 total. There's 1 and 2. This feels good. 3. 4 and 5. We can go ahead and put strap, towel, blanket, whatever we chose to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and stand with my legs wide apart. Move this out of my way. This next one, I call it like a wide leg pot stir. It's another shoulder mobility movement. I love this one. So you want your legs nice and wide. Sort of angle your big toes in just a little bit. We're going to hinge forward at the hips. And envision that you have a giant pot down in front of you. And we're going to stir with one arm, just like this. So we'll do 5 one way, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alternate. Go to the other side. Here we go. 5, 4, 3. I love these. 2 and 1. You might be feeling a little bit of a stretch down the backs of your legs. I definitely feel one on my right. 3, calf as I lean over this way. 2 and 1. All right, come up out of that wide leg position there. And we're going to bring our feet closer together. This is where if you have a yoga block or even a book, you can use this, not required. Also, if you have like a couch pillow or even your bed pillow, you want to put that there. We want something to kind of bring the floor up to us if need be. And so you can use this just to rest your hand on, or we can be down on the floor. And we're just going to, it's very subtle, we're going to alternate right knee bending left knee. Just really feeling that stretch through our calves. We're going to go ahead and do this for about 30 seconds. Very subtle. Again, we can put that block down in front of us, just depending on what feels okay to our body's flexibility. I'm actually feeling quite a stretch in that. Even with that block up higher, I'm able to bend my knees a little bit more deeply. All right, let's go for about 6 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Roll up out. Oh, these kinds of stretching really feel, they feel really good to me. For the next one, you can use a step, a chair, the bottom step of a staircase. First one we're gonna do is step up onto that, put your foot up on that step, stair, chair, seat, whatever you're using. And we're just gonna press our knee over our toes, feeling a stretch here. We're really working on ankle mobility on this one. Pull it back. We're gonna go, here's 5 of these each foot. Here's 3, 2, and 1. We'll go ahead and switch. I'm gonna come down to the floor and show you what we can do if we're not using that step. So you'll put your back knee, I've got my left foot forward, my right knee on the floor, and I am just pressing that over, just gently, not crashing into it, staying nice and in control of things. And we should, again, feel this stretch along the back of into our calves, it's really getting those muscles around our Achilles tendon, really be helpful. Here's 2 with increasing ankle flexion and mobility, and 1. Okay, let's do that one. We're gonna sit on the floor, and what I'll have you do is start with your hands back behind you. So I'm gonna sit like this, and I've got my feet flat on the floor, knees up in front of me, and we're gonna alternate. This is mobility, flexion through our hips, and just gonna alternate side to side. You may or may not be able to get your knees all the way to the floor. That's okay. We're going to our hips mobility for internal rotation. So the stretch we're really gonna feel on this inner part of our thigh when our knee is, our inner thigh is down toward the floor. If you feel the stretch right here and it feels painful or uncomfortable to try to push it down any further, don't force yourself to go down further than your body feels safe and comfortable doing. The more we practice something like this, the more flexible and mobile we get in that joint. So it's really important to practice this kind of stuff, even 2 times a week if we can more. Awesome. All right, we're gonna go 3 more each side. Yeah. Here's 2, 2, and 1, 1. I'll be honest, I started doing these 3 or 4 days a week as part of my cool down for working out, and I get a lot of hip tightness and back pain and tightness because I ride my bike a lot, and doing those for me personally has been a huge game changer. My hips are so much less painful. I don't have as much pain in my low back. Actually, when I skip out on those, I notice a lot of, okay, so I'll finish telling you in a second. So we're going to, our next one is called a hip rock. So you'll be in a kneeling position, upright. I'm gonna take my left foot out to the side, bring my hands down to the floor, and we're just gonna rock back toward our heel and come back up, feeling a stretch along the inner thigh of that extended leg. So as I was saying, we'll go ahead and do 5 each leg with those 90-90 hip like rotation things. When I don't do those, here's 2. Last one on this side, and 1. My hip pain and my low back pain comes back, and that's kind of my message from my body of like, hey Mary, please do this again. We'll go ahead and switch sides. I've got my right leg extended out this time. Bring my palms to the floor, and let's go ahead and rock back. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. We'll go ahead and sit for our last one. And again, we'll do this one more round through without all the instruction. So yeah, all right, so we want our legs wide. And what we're gonna do is we're kind of gonna do a stir thing. And so we're gonna come over to our right foot. You don't have to get all the way down to your right foot. Sweep our hands across to the left and come back up. So we'll go, there's 2, 3, 4, I love these, and 5, and then as you guessed, we'll go the opposite way. There's 5, yeah, 4. So when my body starts to hurt, that's usually a message from it that I am not stretching as I need to. 2, and 1. All right, we'll go ahead and do that one more time through 5 repetitions each, starting with that shoulder pass over movement. Again, if we don't have a strap or a towel blanket, we can just do the one back with one arm forward, back with the other arm forward. All right, and here we go. Yeah, so when my body gets in pain, what I always do, because I keep track of certain habits, so since I'm developing a stronger habit with stretching more regularly, here's 3. I track it. I actually have like a habit tracker on my phone. 2, and when my body starts to get in pain, I actually look back. 1, and I can see, there are 4, the last 4 days. We'll go ahead and put the strap down. We're done with this for the day, and we'll do those pot stir, nice wide leg stance, hinge forward at the hips, and stir with our right arm forward. Yeah, I look back. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and switch directions. And like, the last 4 days I haven't stretched. 3, 2, 1. And then I think, this is why. Switch arms. And this is why I'm in pain. And I start stretching again. 2, 1. Other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and slowly come to standing. We will do that forward fold with the knee back and forth. It's like a little dance. We can bring the block down to the floor if we'd like. All right, so go ahead and slowly roll forward toward the floor. Rest your hands on a block, a step, a pillow, just anything, the floor if you'd like. And here we go. We're going to alternate right and left. Yeah. So it is hard to develop a stretching habit. For me, speaking from personal experience, if you notice yourself maybe passing on stretching or not doing it as often, be gentle on yourself, be easy on yourself. We got about 10 more seconds. It takes time. I think when I first started, I probably was like, if I can do 5 minutes twice a week, I'm going to be really grateful. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and come up. And we'll grab that step or chair if we're using it. Otherwise, we'll be on the floor for that ankle mobility one. So we'll come up, lean forward on it. And here we go. We're just going to do 5 reps. So yeah, I think it was like 5 minutes twice a week. That's how I started. 3, 2. So if you're like, I'm gonna stretch for 5 minutes every Saturday, 1 for the next 6 weeks, that's great. Pick even one day. Consistency looks different for every habit. Switch legs, here we go. And it's gonna look different for all of us. So we don't necessarily have to do it every single day. If we can stay consistent with it, if it's like I can commit to 1 day a week, pick that day, 3, and schedule it in, 2, and 1. Nice job. I'm gonna go ahead and move these things out of the way. We'll come down to the floor and do those 90-90 side to side. Okay, I can commit to this and schedule it in. Hold yourself to it and over time, you can build up to it if that's what you want. 2, 2. Last one on each side. 1 and 1. Nice. We got 2 more for today, and then we'll be done. We're gonna go ahead and get into those hip rocks. So we'll come to our knees. Right foot extended out. Bring your hands down to the floor. Here we go. And I know I'm rocking in this. You might be in the position here, just holding it and be like, that is plenty for me. And that's totally okay. We don't have to do the full movement to get the true benefit of it. We might be feeling the benefit just by getting up in the position. 1. And that's when I talk about going to your bodies. We'll go ahead and switch side. To your body's safety, comfort, degree of mobility, and flexibility. That's what I mean. It's like we don't have to push ourselves into the full position. Let's go ahead and rock this one out if we're doing that. Over time, you may notice like, oh, cool, I am able to come down and put my hands on the floor and feel the stretch, and that's great. And then you might do a couple rocks, and here's 3. We can work up to things, and we could be like, I could totally work up to it too. Last one, and I don't want to, and that's okay too, 1. All right, we'll come to seated and do those wide leg rotation stir things. I love those. These are I think they're one of my favorites. All right, here we go. We're gonna stir 5 one way, and then we'll alternate and do the other way. So just knowing we can work up to something, or we can be like, no, I'm never gonna do that. I like doing it this way. 3, and that's okay. 2, doing the movement. 1, go ahead and switch side. It's not always about going all the way to the furthest end that we possibly can, or it is about doing what we enjoy. 3, what challenges our body, helps us grow in the ways we want. 2, and brings us joy. And 1, and that's it. We're done for today. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope that you had a nice workout, that you're feeling a little bit looser, that your joints are feeling a little bit more mobile. Make sure you take kind care of yourself. Looking forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Take it easy.